I know like money could do a lot of things for us, like, but how you handle it would make the significant changes, like how you define the success that you're looking for. When you are aware that the money is the problem, like how you handle it, like, go seek help. Like there's no problem. Like mom should be always proud of like seeking help too. It's not a big deal, or it's not something to be ashamed of. So I know I'm not like 100% perfect, but at the end of the day, I know I'm making the right decision that feels more aligned with me. So I'm very happy.
And welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to bring in one of my most amazing clients to share with you her story on how she has now become more confident and at ease being a working mom as she is handling the finances and scaling her business. And I just know you guys are going to be so inspired by how she was able to overcome all of her struggles, now being able to be more confident in making money decisions for herself, her business, and her family. So without further ado, let me welcome Aimee to the channel. Hello.
Hi, thank you for having me, Coach. This is a pleasure, and I'm so happy to share like anything that I want to share, and especially if I can inspire like working moms out there that it's possible for us, it's possible for me. So I'm rooting for every working moms out there.
I was honestly in awe of how you're able to do all the things as a
Mhm.
mom because obviously I don't have kids yet, but I'm like, if
Yeah.
Aimee has done that, all that she did, I'm like, it means it's possible for me when I get to that stage. So that's why it's so important that you are here. So starting off, walk us through your journey since you've become a mom, handling your finances. How was it before we started our coaching, and how is it now with handling your finances?
So, during our coaching session, coach, like, that I'm a young mom. So, like when you're a young mom in the Philippines, like in where we are, whatever it is, like there's going to be like a little bit of judgment from people because it's like, it's a decision that you made early. Like it might be whatever unplanned or whatever. But for me, it's like whenever you make a mistake or you stumble upon like something, you gotta make sure na it's either it's gonna break you or gonna make you, right? So when I had my son, is like I realized now I know that when I decided to have him, this is gonna be the consequences of that decision. So I already accepted that, and then the next thing is like how can I like grow to be like a person that he deserves? Like what kind of mindset should I have? What kind of traits I can share with him? So that's when I embody the mindset na it's so important na instead of giving your children the things that you want them to have, why don't you give them experience that you did not experience? So that's when I actually challenged myself na maybe I need to work on my mindset, especially financially, and then how to, your emotion, your how to effectively, handle your time. Because as you know, it's like a struggle to be a mom, especially when you're a working mom. So I grew up in a family who had like a 9 to 5 mindset, and they're very contented with the 9 to 5 job. And for them, a mom is just like someone who can stay at home, raise their kids. But I always been the type of person that I know I have my self identity. Like I'm that person. So I kept telling myself that even this is what they believe in, I know I have something within me that I need to trust and I need to work on. It's just that it's not gonna be an overnight thing. So sabi ko, if I need help, I'm gonna find help. If you really want to do something, don't just like say that you want to do it. You want to actually go out there and do it. So yun, that's when I find you. And then initially I had the mindset of like, oh, 9 to 5 would be enough to raise my kid, until I realized that I don't have the time for him. Like, what's the sense of having a child if you're just like working and working and don't even get the chance to be there for him? That's when I completely changed the mindset that what if I could have like a source of income that could give me time and also be able to like sustain having a child, like yun. And then when I find you, I was struggling by myself because I was trying my best to follow all these rules about financial, like delay gratification and all those like rules and everything. And I was like, I still ended up like using money as like a coping mechanism, which is what I realized like all the potential of money now because of working with you. I realize now na you don't need to use money as a coping mechanism. You really need to find the root cause of wherever you're feeling. And that's what I did learn a lot from you, is that I really need to find out the reason why I am feeling this way. Why do I feel like I have to constantly go out, have fun? I think I made so much like changes because normally like I would go out, have coffee, and then have cakes, and then eat outside just to feel better. But now I realize now you have to dig deep what's causing it, which is what you know teach me, and you gotta treat that cause instead of like finding like an external thing that could cure it, because that would be just like a temper. It's like a putting a band-aid to an infected wound, which is it's gonna cover it but it's not gonna like cure. So yun parang yung biggest mindset shift that I did, like that potentially helped me like making any decision financially, like is this like aligned with what you want, like is this gonna really solve what you really want, or can you do something that really make sure that you're not compromising, at the same time you feel confident about that decision. So yun, like that's where I'm at the moment, which is I'm grateful for you, like even though. And also one of the things that you teach me as well is that if you're winning for yourself. Like if you don't need to impress anyone. So that's where I'm at the moment. So even though I'm silent, I'm not on Facebook or anything, I'm winning and I'm happy within me.
Yeah, and I think that ultimately is freeing, knowing that
Yeah.
you know you're winning and you don't need to prove it to anyone or whoever online or whoever in your circle, because you know yourself that you are aligned with your goals, you're
Yeah.
aligning your decisions based on what you really want, not impressing anyone. And yeah, that was one of the things na really shifted for you, like because it was a challenge being a young mom. You were constantly looking at, okay, what would others say, what would others think, and it kind of translated to the buying habits. So when we were able to like really get deep into that, and as you said, treat the root cause of it, it really freed you to be like,
Mhm.
I get to win on my terms and at
Yeah.
the same time create more impact for
Mhm.
my family. So tell me about that. Like now that you have taken the initiative to handle your finances much better, how has that impacted your family life?
When it comes to like the family, like when you have children, you always have to be prepared. You're not saying that there's gonna be something happening, but it's just like the preparation part. Para nakakakalm kasi dun sa puso yung you know that you're prepared somehow, and even you're not just like prepared, you can also do something that could bring so much happiness to you, like travel, like what you said, fund your freedom, or fund your. So I think that's like what's the biggest impact is I know that even though like right now I kind of slowed down and I kind of like working on something big, I know na it's gonna contribute to the life that I truly wanted to have. Like it's not just like something that I want to do just because, oh yeah, when I'm earning this and this, like people would be impressed. It's no longer that. It's not. It's okay for me to just win within own, what you said, my own terms, and realize now you have so much potential by just like being able to handle the finance of the family. Because there's like so much impression of the money that completely changed about it. Like sa akin, coach, like it's just like we can tackle it later, but I've learned just
Go,
yeah,
go,
yeah.
share.
I mean, like for me, it's like for other people, like uh, money is like a definition of success for them. And like when you earn 6 to 7 figure, you're successful. If you have this like money, then you're success. But for me, like I realized like working with you, money is just like the result of what you are working on or your goal. But the inner work that you're doing to be able to have the positive mindset about money is the actual success. Like yun for me is like hindi naman yung parang you're actually doing 6 to 7 figures a month, but you're exhausted. Like you're resisting your job, you're working 5 to 10 clients. For me, that's no longer the definition of. For me, it's like why can I do something that feels more aligned with me? Then that's gonna result me earning this income goal, so I can sustain so I can fund the life that I want, and then have like the preparation for anything that could happen. Like we don't know what's gonna happen in the future, but for sure for me, it's like I know that everything that I do in the present could have a major impact in the future. So I know like money could do a lot of things for us, like but how you handle it would make the significant changes, like how you define the success that you're looking for, instead of like constantly having the rat race and then
Mm.
constantly chasing for something new. Yun yung parang nagbago talaga.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
remember when that shift happened, one of the things that we we explored was like how could that help you set an example to your kids
Yeah.
as well, na when they
Yes.
grow up you want them to be like, oh,
Mhm.
explore what they're passionate about rather than just the specific income goal and all of
Mhm.
that. And it also helped you make the decisions that you needed on ano yung
Mhm.
mga priorities to invest in your business for
Yeah,
you
yeah.
to get to the time freedom that you want. So tell the viewers about that. Like, I remember you came to me with that struggle that I know that I can make the money, but I'm scared if I have bigger income. How am I gonna handle it? What if I still
Yes.
handle it wrong? So,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
have you overcome that now?
I have overcome it by, realizing na you really have to have like a system in place. Like you don't need to be scared like just because you don't know. Like I realized that I'm not scared of like handling the money. I'm scared of like the uncertainty. Like what am I gonna do with it and all that.
Mm-mm.
That's when the system that you have taught me like has the bigger picture on it. Kasi parang why are you be scaring about this if it's gonna bring you to the scale that you are looking for? Don't just like look at it like more money, more responsibility. Why don't you like go back to the reason why you're doing this, like what you said, the time freedom, and being able to provide time for the family. If you earn this much and you can hire people to do the work, wouldn't that mean that you also have the time freedom? So that's my mindset now. So I'm no longer like making any this doubt in my life. You always like go back to the reason or why you're doing it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's so important you brought that up because that's why we went so specific
Yeah.
about what is it that you want to get out of
Mm.
as a result of money. You know, like we went into like what kind of life do you want to have? What kind of life do you want to have for your family as well? And it really went back to time freedom, and that gave you the clarity of the investing decisions that you want to make for your business in order to scale your business, to scale to an agency. So we were just chatting about it earlier before we started recording about the goals that you were able to achieve as a result of that. Tell
Mm.
us like what are now that you're able to have that system handling your finances, what are the goals that you were able to achieve as a result of all that?
So during our time together, I still like have limiting beliefs, and that I was just like setting really small goals, like go to Palawan, and then go to hit this income goal. Like coach, alam mo na parang I was playing safe with the goals that I have, but now I realized that I could like do more and be confident, like not scared. Why am I keep putting myself in a box where I know within me that I could do more, like I could push myself more? Because at the end of the day, when you're within your box, you're just like, so you're not challenging yourself, you're not doing something that's really feel aligned with you because you're comfortable. So right now, the scaling part, like I'm not gonna say like I know that the entire journey would be like not gonna be like always up, but
If anything, with
yeah,
business, right? Always. Yeah.
up. So you know that it's gonna be up and down, but during the downtime, you know that you have the mindset na, oh, this is just part of the journey and you need to trust the process. I have to do it because I know I believe in myself and I have like the reason why I want to do it. Instead of like, because you're more comfortable if you just like working for a client, then you have a consistent, income monthly. But at the end of the day, is that what you really want? Yung question, is that what really aligned with you? I have like so much good news for you. I just don't want to overwhelm you right now,
Go!
but I have.
I love good news. Tell me.
Yeah, so one of the amazing thing happened this last year is like one of the things that the biggest decision that I made is to let go the retainer clients that are not aligned with me, which is a hard decision because people would judge you. Those are money. Why are you letting go of money, right? So sabi ko, they're no longer aligned with what I want to achieve. I want to be in control of my business and how I scale. So if that's gonna be like letting go of them because they're treating me like an employee or something, and I don't want to be treated like that anymore. So I gotta make this decision, even it's gonna be judged by other. Because at the end of the day, my win is on my own terms, like what you said.
Always goes back to that, no?
I'll always go back to that. Tapos yun, then just like January, like last year, I was able to sign like a retainer clients, which is it's already like I'm still like six figure, but I think I have so much time now. And then one of the amazing things is that I was just like looking at the goals that I have. Like I'm trying to set goals for this year, and then one of the things that I want to do is like to travel out of the country na, and then like it's getting bigger, that the goals that you. And then one of the amazing things, coach, is when you're working with people that you are aligned with, they know your worth, they know what you
Mm.
bring to the table, they're happy with you. So what happened was is like he invited me to have a trip in the US,
What?
and now I'm yeah, and I'm in the process of actually, processing my US tourist visa, which is like, I know it's a really big move, but when you look back, like, oh, it's just like 2 months of 2023 and all of this like happening, but
Yeah.
like all the things that we have done in the past year, that's true. So I'm really happy that it's like everything is aligned, and now you're making all this like big moves. They're actually big because you chose to be bold more, to do more. So I'm hoping for the best, just like the travel and
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, I remember you said na like
yeah,
it is one of your goals to travel more,
yeah,
and now that you're making that happen in the best way possible, and yung belief na when you focus on being purpose driven instead of money driven, all of a sudden all these things that are important to you
yeah,
just fall into your lap in the
yeah,
best way possible, like what you did na. Imagine if you didn't let go of those clients that
mm,
treated you in a way that you didn't want to be treated,
yeah,
then maybe you wouldn't have met this better client that offered you this travel opportunity, right? And as you said, once your mindset is in the right place, you suddenly make the right actions, the right decisions that
mm,
align with what you really want, who
yeah,
you
yeah,
really are as a person, what you value. And that's why it makes it easier for you to be like, I know what the next step is. I think that speaks volumes for a
mm,
working mom as yourself, because sometimes, you can get caught in like, oh, I just have to bring the money to pay the bills.
yeah,
But the
yeah,
fact that you're speaking here and saying that you can do that you can go after something you really want,
yeah, yeah.
earn well, and prioritize your leisure goals, and at the
Mm.
same time provide for your family, I think that's really so inspiring, really.
Thank you. Like you're one of like the biggest person that I owe it a lot, because I know that it did take time to actually get there. Like I have so much like limiting belief when we were working together. I know I'm not like 100% perfect, but at the end of the day, I know I'm making the right decision that feels more aligned with me. So I'm very happy.
Yeah, I'm so proud. So actually, let's talk about that. Like, what do you think were the biggest limiting beliefs that you wished you knew earlier as a working mom?
When you're a mom, like you always try your best, kasi there's like in our society, like even kahit saan, when you're a mom, it's you constantly like try to still like find validation from others that you're doing your best. Like I think that's, even though Filipino or other country, you always like look for that validation na, am I doing enough? What can I do to impress people that I'm actually doing this for my kids? Yung parang mindset na, and the limiting belief that you have to constantly impress other people that you are a good mom. So I think you gotta need to make sure that you know yourself. You know like your yourself as a mom, what your strength, what you need to work on, what you need to help with. That will stop you from actually asking validation, because at the end of the day, like having those kids, they were born to look up to you. So why don't you just like focus on doing something that will make me lead by example? Like how can I be a person that they can see, that they will just like follow? Like I don't need to actually buy this car just to make my auntie impressed. No, she's a mom but she could afford a car, like that. Yung parang ganun pa yung impress thing. But it's just like the society as a mom, like making us feel that we have to constantly do our best. But every day, like a battle as a mom, you are constantly doing your best. It's already given that every day it's your best, like whatever people say. So the best advice that I could give, or the limiting belief that I have like solved, is like never like expect anyone to validate your work. You should start within you. Like, you know your worth. Your children know your worth. So yun yung importante. Like, and from that moment, you realize that you are worthy of everything. That's when you can like make decision na feel more aligned, not just for you, but for your children. Because at the end of the day, when you're a mom, like, it's like signing up to something na when I become a mom, my life isn't about me anymore. It's not just like all about me. There's another kid that looking up to me. So yun,
Hmm.
that's really what I overcome, the have
Yeah.
to constantly validate others.
Yeah. And that's why now that you're speaking about it, it shows that what if you had to go through that so that you could share it as a success story? You
Mm,
know, that it doesn't have to be that way just because society said so. You can work on yourself
mm,
because it also means that you get to be a better
yeah,
example to your family ultimately,
that's
right? It shows now when you do the inner work,
yeah.
it reflects in how you handle your finances. It reflects on how you spend, how you invest, what you choose to spend on, and ultimately how your life is a reflection of who you are pleasing. Like
That's
you get to set the boundaries. I think that's one of the things I remember we dove into is like how to set boundaries from the people who don't align with the
mm,
values that you care
yeah,
or the success that you are aiming for. That is something that you should give credit for, that you are so brave speaking up about it, because I'm sure not a lot of moms would have
yeah.
the courage to do so, and I feel like you're speaking for them,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah, I think that's actually a biggest thing. Like, you're never gonna be enough for others. Like, that's the truth. So why don't you just like focus on working within you, and when you work on within you, all the inner work that you did, yung para mag-reflect din sila to your decision and to the children that that you have. Because even though they're not going to be like 100% me, or not going to be perfect as me, they know that I'm their 100% support system, that even though the world will fall apart, like, I would use myself as a human shield. So yun, I'm happy
Aww.
about it.
Yeah, that's why like sabi ko grabe si Amy, parang how you're able to do all of that. Ay sabi ko grabe super mom. Like how many kids? Remember, three or two?
I have like two boys. They're really handsome.
Yeah.
It's not like perfect process, but at the end of the day, like, your kids will remember the good time, eh. Like, always like try your best to get back on your feet. Show them na life isn't just like focusing on the negative thoughts, but also focusing on the good things that you can make out of it. So,
Yeah.
and that's what I learned a lot from you, which is it's not always like butterflies and not like the happy moments, but you know that this human, tiny humans are just so happy. Know that you are their mom, you are worthy, and you are more than enough. Like, you don't need to hear like all this distraction and noises out there to prove yourself. Yon.
Amazing. You know, you keep sharing earlier that that's what I learned from you. But then, you know what? Like when I think of it, like why I love coaching is because all of the best realizations came from you. You know, like all I did was like guide you to come up with those lessons, those realizations, because you know what's the best kind of mom you want to be for your kids. I won't be able to answer that for you,
Yeah,
right? And
that's
that's why I loved our conversations during our coaching calls, because you were able to really get to know yourself more, who you are, and as a mom. It's so amazing hearing those lessons that you've learned, because it all came from you, and I was just here like guiding you, holding that space for you to realize like you've had all the best solutions all this time, because you've always been worthy, you've always been capable of taking these actions, making these decisions. So I'm just grateful, just as grateful that I was part of that journey. So how
true.
have you balanced everything, like balancing your funds for your family, your business, personal leisure? How have you done that?
You know that you gave us like the whole entire system. All we just have to do is to implement. And like what you said, like right now in where I'm at the moment, is like whenever I would like think about of something, is like you always like taught me to never forget to do something that still makes you happy while preparing for the future and all that. So I would suggest, like, as a mom, like this, for a standpoint as a mom, like I know it would be a different scenario for a single person, but for me as a mom, you really need to prioritize the emergency funds and then the freedom fund. Freedom fund will make you the best mom that you can be, because you cannot pour from an empty cup, yun lang. And then the emergency would give you the, ease, like the preparation, like for anything. That's what I would say. And then tapos coach, like whenever you have like thoughts, like I know that even though you're not 100% there's still like things that you want, like for example you want this new thing, new all that. And then try to go back to the system that you teach, like the financial system that you taught us, like how will I be able to achieve this, what kind of income goal that I could, achieve, in order to, and where I could, like, allocate something that will eventually land me to getting this. So parang right now we're at that position. It's like I'm no longer like worried. Like before, I told you na I'm so scared of credit card installment. Do I remember I was like telling you, I feel like they're debt, and I was like telling you that na, coach, do you consider like credit card as debt? And you said that it's considered debt when you're not paying, like you're not like doing anything about it, like you're not paying your credit. And now it's like for me, it's like I feel more ease, like where to allocate the money, like all the savings, and then the, how to use my credit card like more efficiently. Like I did separate the credit card na, like the personal and business, so that I know
Love
like
it.
if am I spending too much now with the business, or am I like spending too much now with the personal thing? So yun, that keep me on track. And then whenever like I would want something, tapos sabi ko, ay, answerin ko nga itong ulit na yung and then yung results nung ano, yung parang ano yung maging income goal dapat to achieve that. Yung parang hindi na siya yung parang, ay, saan kaya ako? Parang iba kasi, parang saan kaya ako maglo-loan? Saan kaya ako mag-ano? Parang right now, you're more contented of like seeing the system in place na this is what I need to do, and this is the income that I need to achieve. This is what I need to set aside. This is what I need to work on and all that. Parang yun, it gives you like the peace of mind to know. It's like a tracking, like parang, oh, Amy, like you're not there yet, but you will get there. Parang hindi yung parang, it's not a no, it's like saying you're not there yet, but you will be there. Parang right now, parang kasi dati parang hindi ko nabili, parang it's a no for me, parang hindi ko kayang ma-afford. But now it's like not yet for now, but it will happen. Parang ganun na siya. So I think the system and everything, yun, nakakatulong talaga siya to, your mindset. Para nang mapakalma mo yung sarili mo, instead of like making all this rush decision na, ay, afford ko naman. Like, what about the other things that you need to consider, right? Yun.
True. Literally, you like summed up the purpose of the system. Like, I love it. I love how you're letting the system adjust to the lifestyle that you want. Because
Yeah.
ultimately, that's how finances should be, rather than stressing us out, making us
Yeah.
feel like pressured na, ay, hindi pwede, so wag na lang, and then we settle. We
Yeah.
settle not knowing na actually there are steps that we can take, milestones, so that we know na if in the next few months I will get there because I am planning for it. Kumbaga in the system that okay, if this is what I want, this is the income target, these are the savings I need, this is the timeline for me to get there. And you explain it fairly well in terms of as a mom in your business, and then for yung mga leisure goals mo, it's that combination that you work on yourself first, like the inner work, and at the same time, okay, how would that reflect now practical wise in your
Yeah.
finances? And that's what I love that you explained in our journey together. Na, okay, I'm clear na, okay, I'm not gonna please anyone. The only validation I need is from myself. Okay, now that I know that, here are the goals in line with what I want. And
Yeah.
then my financial system is going to be connected to that. So I get to achieve what I
Yeah.
want the most in my life.
Yeah. And then I was just like, remember now when we were having coaching, parang I was breaking out like a lot. And you said na, uh, why don't you find out the root cause? Kasi like what you said, you were having like parang it all boils down to finding the root cause. And then
Mm.
yeah, and when you said that, that's when I realized that I was having problem with, like, have you heard of like PCOS? Like,
Yeah, yeah, I
yeah,
heard.
I think that's real kind of relate to, like, instead of like doing this external thing, which is like skincare, why don't you find the root cause, which is what you said. I went to a doctor, and then they said that, but I'm recovering now. Like it's just like the leftovary, but yeah, I mean, I've learned so much, like knowing the root cause, like what can you do to prevent it and all that. And especially I've been consistent to working out, like what you said, like right.
Ooh, yay.
Parang mindset ko na when I go to the gym is like, I needed this for a long term reason, which is my health, like the lifestyle that I want to build. Like it's hard to get sick. So just like having hard time going to
Mm.
the gym or just having a hard time getting sick. So I chose like, making sure that I work out every day na eventually like everything is like falling into place. Yung parang it's not my life is like 100% perfect, but I know that I am getting there. It's not like before na butong buhay ko parang ganyan.
Well, I think no one's life is perfect for
Yeah,
sure. We're
no,
all just taking steps
yeah.
every single day, hoping that it would get us to a better
Mm,
version of ourselves. And I feel like
that's
that's what you're doing. And tell
yeah.
me, like, what habits do you think you've developed or you've acquired from our coaching that has really made an impact in your life?
For me, like mall is like a representation of rewarding yourself before.
Yeah.
If I go to
Mm.
the mall, I have to really get something. Like right now, it's
Mm.
like whenever I go to the mall, like if I like see something, like I would just like it's not like saying no, but it's like if I buy this, like is it really aligned with what I want to do? Like do I really want it or something like that? It's not like before kasi pag when you were parang yung sinasabi ng iba, kunyari hindi mo daw nakuha, parang hindi ka daw makakatulog, ganyan na parang for
Oh.
me it's like now it's like for me those are like distraction, like those things na parang why why don't you like focus on what matters at the moment. You're not like saying no, you're just like saying na not now, but eventually, like when things are into place and your goals are just there, like you can like do it. It's just that at the moment, do you think it's aligned with what you're doing to actually do that? Like, parang every time that I would make like any decision and all those like type of thing, parang I just keep asking myself like, would I be willing to compromise this just to get this? Before kasi parang ang bigat sa loob pag kunyari di mo nabili,
Nakawalan, parang, papapanaginipan
Wala,
mo.
ganyan. Oo, papaganipan mo daw, di ka makatulog. Pero right now, parang, I could quickly like shake it, not like shake it off, parang, meron ka na kasing something sa head mo, yung parang, okay, like, next time, like, probably. Pero hindi na masama yung sa loob mo na parang, ano ba yan? Hindi ko, kailan ko kaya magagan? Parang, you'll get to that point. It's just like, there are things that more align with you that you need to prioritize, which is parang unlike sa puso lang. Kasi yung parang pinapahirapan mo yung sarili mo lagi na parang yung hoarding, yung parang bili ka ng bili ng kung ano-ano, then ended up seeing all of them like trash and all that. But yun, living minimalist at the moment too. Tapos we moved into a different place. And as much as possible, we're trying to live like a minimalist. There's so many things that have happened na
Oh, yeah. Oh.
yeah, we're very happy, and my partner and I like we were working on the communication part,
Mm.
like everything, like we try to communicate what's wrong, because before, like I kept telling that we were kind of struggling with a bunch of things, so much misunderstanding, and there are times where you feel that they're treating you like negatively, but the truth is that you just don't know like what, parang you need to meet halfway, parang ano yung dapat pag-usapan. So yun, those are the things that I learned a lot from you too. Like, it's always best to find the root cause. Parang alamin mo talaga, you always need to communicate as well. It's not just like the financial, but that how I communicate, how I feel, how I communicate na this is the things that I wanna do. I hope that you feel okay with it. Yung parang it's when you have a partner too, it's like, especially you're married now, or it's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Asian. So
Thank you.
yeah, it's like you always need to meet halfway. There are things that you want to do that you need to check in with him, making
Yeah.
sure that he's on the same page, or not on the same page, but kind of like understand why you are doing it.
Mm.
Yun. Parang you kind of help me with that, to be open to him and let him know that these are the things that I want to accomplish, bothering me, and it's just so much thing, and I'm just like blown away and thankful.
Yeah, and I'm so happy for you because this is the example of like when you work on yourself, it's going to be so easy to build that environment where it's gonna be easy to communicate. Because now that you were able to be like, okay, I can easily make decisions now, purchases I say no to, probably your partner's like, ha, parang nag-iiba siya. Parang
Yeah.
may ginagawa siya for the
Mhm.
better and I want to know, and I think now that you were able to, build that habit within yourself, therefore you were also easily able to communicate that with your partner because you're setting the example of like, oh, this is our priorities. This is
Yeah.
what I'm working towards. Like, how can we meet halfway? How can we work on that together so that we get to meet, our goals together? Looking back at this journey, ang dami nangyari sa'yo for the better.
Yeah.
What do you think is the best financial advice you'd give to working moms that you wish you knew sooner?
Like the biggest advice that I would ever give is like make sure that whenever you should like look at money as not like a way to gratify or
Mm,
to make you happy. Like look at money as something that could answer some of the things that you need resolving with, like because sometimes when you're a mom there's like an ego that I'm a working mom, so I don't need to rely on my partner. Like you should let go of that
mm,
thought na like I'm a working mom now, like I could do it, I could do whatever my partner is doing, like provide financially. So my biggest advice, like your partner or like any person in your life, you always should consider them as a team, because when you're a mom that's already like overwhelming, like it's gonna be a lot, like really a lot. So make sure now when you have like people around you that are supporting you, you should treat them as a team and make sure that they're also aligned with whatever financial goal you have and whatever you are working on. Never, consider them as an enemy just because they don't understand your financial goals and all that. You cannot make people understand what you're going through, but at the same time, you can show them whatever you're working on would have a long term impact. It's not just like what coach said na parang you have to hoard saving or hoard that. Parang ang dami mong gusto mong mag-ipon for the kids, for the checkup and everything. When you're a mom, like you need to fill your own cup too. Like every day that you have to like, we know that I have a Sunday reset. Like always set
mm.
aside something from you na parang could fill in your cup so that you can pour to those little kids. If that means like, going out or whatever, but make sure also that you have like a system kasi financially like you have to like a lot of things like to spend on as a mom. So have the financial system and have a self-awareness. Like you taught me the self-awareness, like that's hard to achieve, to have like a self-awareness what you need help with, because sometimes we're as a mom we're just so denial and thinking that we have everything figured out, right? But the truth is you're never, every day there's always things that you need to figure out. So know when you need help with, those people around you are your support system, and always have the mindset na parang your goals, like even though they're for you or for your children, you need to have that laser focus on it. So as a mom, like I know there's so many distractions, so many people that you wanna impress or people that you wanna hear their opinions about you. But at the end of the day, working on for yourself would reflect how you are as a mom.
Yeah, and I think that's an example of when you are confident in handling money decisions, you also see the impact of it in the
Yeah.
betterment of your life. Like, I think in essence, yun yung nangyari, like in your journey, like when you took control, took charge of your finances, it really mirrored for the better in your life because that's how money should be. It should help us feel like we're enjoying our life better. It's a tool for
Mhm.
us to fund the goals that truly
Yeah.
align with us to who we are. And nakaka-proud lang to hear, all those lessons, all those advice that you're sharing because I know it's just gonna create like a ripple effect of positive change to whoever is listening because they see that if you were able to make it possible, then it's definitely possible for them too. So
It is truly possible, coach. Like always like find the root cause. Like that's what I learned from you. Instead of like trying to see money as your enemy, like why don't you see it as something that could help you make a big impact? So parang yun yung biggest lesson. Like, and when you are aware that the money is the problem, like how you handle it, like, go seek help. Like there's no problem. Like don't be in denial of like trying to figure things out on your own. Like what I did, I worked with you because I know I needed the help. I truly wanted to do it. and now it has so much positive impact on me as a person. So I'm very happy, and mom should be always proud of like seeking help too. It's not a big deal, or it's not something to be ashamed of. So I'm
Yeah,
happy, coach.
that's so powerful, truly.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Amy. I wish you all the best, and I feel like this is not the last time we're gonna
For a
chika.
long time, yeah.
Please DM me for whatever update. I would love to keep hearing from you. And
Thank
yeah,
you.
thank you so
Thank
much.
you, coach. I appreciate it, and
Bye
thank you for
bye.
having me again. Bye.